Puberty blockers are a group of medications or hormones that we use in the transgender population to stop puberty from progressing. When somebody starts puberty, we can use them to stop the puberty from progressing, thereby allowing somebody to really explore their gender. And the really nice thing about puberty blockers is that they are reversible.
I was 14 years old when I got my puberty blocker implant. They told me that the puberty blocker was completely safe. After I was on it for a while, it like castrates you, stop developing, including mentally and emotionally, which I didn't know. And it was like being frozen in like a child's body.
Puberty blockers are drugs that specifically short-circuit the pituitary signaling to the ovaries or the testicles, essentially stopping the physiology of puberty, which is a very necessary part of human development.
It's expected that the outcome is to result in lifelong sterility. So you're taking away a child's fertility at an age when they really don't have an understanding of what they're giving up. Puberty is a very important time for accruing bone density, and that if that is interrupted, the children are going to be at risk of osteoporosis and fractures later in life.
The hormones of puberty are very necessary for brain development, that the hormones of puberty are very necessary for bone development, and obviously the physical development of the child and creation of fertility.
Individuals in whom puberty is delayed multiple years are likely to suffer negative psychosocial and self-confident effects as they stand on the sidelines while their peers undergo pubertal changes.
And within a year or so, they're falling behind their peers. They're not growing skeletally. They're not maturing intellectually. And now they can look at themselves and go, wow, I really don't look like everybody else. There is something wrong with my body.
And after 1 year on puberty blockers, there were a lot of things that the children got worse in several respects. So the most disturbing aspect of that was that the children reported a higher level of self-harm.
They'll say it's buying time, it's completely reversible. That's a lie. The child and the parents are being encouraged to believe that if they take the next step, the anxiety and the sorrow and the woundedness is going to go away. So they start with puberty blockade and transitioning. There's a lot of excitement, but you haven't addressed the problem. So it's time to go to the next step. We're going to go to cross-sex hormones. You give somebody cross-sex hormones, they'll feel like a giant for a while, and you think, oh, I've done them a great good. It's a passing thing, and so the anxiety is still there.
I felt frustrated because it was like being trapped in a child's body, you know, with things not maturing correctly and possibly even atrophying. So then even if I would go back, I would have to live my life as a eunuch, and it's the exact awkward existence that I was trying to avoid, but it was presented as the only option.
It's very important for parents to know little kids can present with extreme gender dysphoria, but that doesn't mean they're all going to grow up to continue to have gender dysphoria.
Some of the potential risks really that are not fully studied relate to sort of bone density, height, and then the impact on sort of cognitive or sort of brain development. The Endocrine Society, again, has guidelines here, although I think they're not guidelines that typically most places that do this work progressively adhere to. In particular, they indicate that someone should not start these hormones any earlier than the age of 16.
We will know about this in 20 or 30 years, and we will have a population of thousands and thousands of medically damaged human beings, all because of an ideology that's being pushed without any science behind it.